Hi, everybody. Sorry we're a little bit late, but we're early. So I don't know if we're late because we're an hour earlier than normal. So I don't know what that means. But hi, everybody. I did survive the game of tennis, foe. I'm still alive. Thankfully, I'm still on my second life. I'm hoping I don't need a third life. But I'm glad you're all here. It's been one of those crazy old days today. So I apologize for being a bit scatterbrained. What you can't see is while I'm talking here, I'm also setting the show up behind the scenes. But I'm really excited about our guest today. So joining us for the first time on Hammer Shots is author Robert Banks. And returning from his season 1 defeat to Tom Atherton is David from Boston. So
Hello,
how are you boys doing?
Great, thanks. Yeah, I've got the double espressos here. Keep my eyes open. Midnight here.
Normally I do a shot, but I've got like a massive whiskey, amaretto, and Coke.
Oh,
that's a good mix. Yeah, I have a Prairie Screenshot Imperial Stout brewed with hazelnut coffee. So
nice.
Well,
very good.
Like
It's
such
a
a
warm day in Boston. So
yeah, but Robert, it's all right because it's midnight there.
yeah,
So
it's a school day.
Yeah, exactly. It's midnight on a school night, so no one's gonna blame you. So, hi everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining us. The first round is going to be a little bit different. In fact, there are a few little differences to the quiz today. You'll see as we go along. But obviously, we didn't have a game. So usually, the first round are quick fire questions about a game. We didn't have one, so Danny Hardy has prepared a quick fire round. We'll call it the Dan Hardy Invitational. So the way that this first round works, you shout out your answer. You get one answer. If you get it right, you get a point. If you get it wrong, you obviously don't get a point. It goes to the other person. Does that make sense?
makes sense.
All right, here we go. Do you know what? What's really annoying is that earlier on, like I devised this whole really cool like scoreboard that I was going to use, but I'm too scattered to I will see. Maybe if I can multitask, I'll try and bring it up. But I think maybe I'm trying to bite off more than I can chew. So let's get started. Question number 1. Like I say, just shout out your answer. In fact, what have I done? What have I done? Okay. Question number 1. Who scored more goals for West Ham? Marlon Harewood or Bobby Zamora?
Marlon Harewood.
Bobby Zamora.
Oh, well, you both said different answers, which is good. The answer was Marlon Harewood. So well done, David. 1 point to you. Why isn't this thing... here we go. I'm going to have to just show everyone because I'm quite proud of this. Thanks to Charlie for putting me onto this. But look what I've got. How cool is that, everybody?
Oh, no, I like that it's cleared in blue.
Yeah, I did that on purpose as well. What do you think, people in the chat? I guess I'm just desperate for a bit of that looks so good, Adam. Well done. Okay, question number 2. Who scored our last goal at Upton Park?
Winston
Reid.
Oh, David just got there first. Just. That is, of course, correct. And more on him later. Our first game of the season was against Newcastle. What was the score at half time?
0-0.
Is correct, Robert.
Nice.
Well done. Question number 4. What number would our new signing Craig Dawson wear?
13.
15.
It is 15.
Ah,
well done.
nice.
Oof, it's an equalizer. Okay, and the last question. Who played more games for West Ham out of the Ferdinand brothers?
Les Ferdinand.
Definitely not.
Oh.
Yeah, and so it was
Anton Ferdinand.
It was Rio or Anton, but I didn't want to give you that.
Anton Ferdinand.
I have to accept your first answer as Les
I see what you're
Ferdinand.
saying. Yeah.
He did make some appearances, but the least number.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, this is a good question. I like this. It was close as well. There are only 11 appearances in it. Rio made 127 appearances for the club. Anton made 138.
Ooh.
So at the end of the first round, the scores look like this, everybody. 2-2. Oh, I love this scoreboard. Okay, well done. That's the first round. The next round is going to be, so the next round is the higher or lower round. Now, this round is going to be in honor of the reason why the show's early today. So the reason that's happening is because Winston Reid is here in Frisco playing FC Dallas. And so I'm going to the game to see Winston Reid. And I will say, I don't know if I'm just going to say it anyway. I'm sure it won't get me into trouble. Not enough people watch the show. One of my friends who's on the bench for FC Dallas tonight, he comes to the pub with me sometimes to watch West Ham. And he is going to sing Bubbles and say, "Come on, West Ham," to Winston Reid if he gets on the pitch. So if you're in America and you're going to watch FC Dallas today against Winston Reid, Sporting Kansas City, keep an eye out if Jesus Ferreira comes on the field. And see, he's been practicing Bubbles with me all day, so
nice.
There'll be a bit of fun. So, in honor of Winston Reid, these are going to be some questions, higher or lower, about him. So, Robert, I'm going to let you go first. So, the way this works, you're going to give me an answer. David will say whether it's higher or lower than the answer. If he gets it right, he gets the point. If he gets it wrong, you get the point. So, question number one, and also if you've got the chat alongside you, make sure you hide that so that you don't see the answers.
Yeah, I'm not going to private chat.
Okay.
Just to make sure. So, how many appearances has Winston Reid made for West Ham, Robert? It's a guessing game, so don't worry about it. If you manage to get it spot on, though, I will say you get 2 points.
Okay. Well, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
He's been with us, 10 years now?
A while.
But a lot of it injured. It's got to be 185.
185. It's a good guess. David, do you think it's more or less than 185?
More.
More is correct. He actually has made 222 appearances. I want to say not out, but in my heart and heart, probably not. I mean, Tom's already trying to give Rebecca a special shout. Look, I'm obviously going to shout her out when it gets to her round, just to make sure. I always give her credit, but this is my round. So, David, over to you. How many goals has Winston Reid scored for us?
Ooh. 30. No, that's too high. 23.
23. Robert, do you think it is more or less than 23?
I think it's less than that.
Yeah, but as soon as I said, I realized it's less.
It is 10 goals he's managed. 10 goals. Robert, as I said, he is going to be lining up for Sporting Kansas City tonight. But what will be the number on the back of his shirt?
I'm terrible with shirt numbers. I never pay attention to that.
Well, I mean, this is kind of a guessy game. Like that.
It is a guessy game. That's
okay.
This round is kind of a guessy game. Apart from there's a bonus question at the end that I've snuck in.
Given that he's on loan, I'm guessing that he's not going to be in the 1 to 6. So I'm going to guess something like 32.
32.
Ooh.
David, do you think?
My mind is racing. I'm going to say lower.
And the answer is lower. It is 22. 22. Okay, over to you, David. How many appearances, and this is going to be the last of the Winston Reid questions before we go back to some more fun, different questions, So how many appearances has the World Cup goal-scoring Winston Reid made for New Zealand?
18.
18. Robert, do you think he's made more or less appearances for New Zealand?
I know he's played he was playing in the 2010 World Cup. I suspect it's substantially more than that.
I would have thought as well. Gary has gone for 32 in the chat. The actual answer, I was surprised, is 25, which is more, but not as many as you would think, considering, as you said, he came through in the 2010 World Cup. So a decade, and he's their captain.
I'm guessing because he's based in Europe. it won't have helped him. Yeah.
That's it. Because some of those friendlies, they don't fly him all the way over there. It's too much. The club won't allow it. All right, now over to something a little bit more normal. Robert, according to Wikipedia, which is the name of this round, how many games has David Moyes managed West Ham for?
Ooh. Are we including bedridden?
That is a good question. And I don't know because this is according to Wikipedia. So that's my throwaway disclaimer, which means that who knows? This is just what it says true as of the last round of fixtures. So I would guess yes, they are included.
Yeah. Okay, so I would say, and is this League Cup and everything?
I would think so. Yes.
Yeah, I would imagine that.
It's got to be around the 50 mark, I reckon.
So are you gonna say 50s?
I'm going to say 50.
Okay. David, do you think more or less?
I think slightly less. I think lower.
Well, I tell you, he has managed 59 games for West Ham United. 59 games. Okay, here we go. At the end of last season, there was an article saying and it shared about Mark Noble's penalty conversion rate. So, to the nearest point, 10th of a percentage, all right, so something point something, what is Mark Noble's penalty conversion ratio percentage?
I know it is extremely high. I'm going to say 93.8.
Okay, Robert, do you think it is higher or lower?
Can only remember him missing. I think he's only missed 3, maybe. I think it might be higher than that.
All right, I'll say it is close. So you're going higher. I'll say the correct answer is 90.5%, which puts him second place in world football. The only player in the last 20 years, just looking at stats in 20 years, there's only one player with a better conversion ratio. Any ideas? It's not for a point. It's just for fun.
Matt Letizia.
Not Matt Letizia. I'll say it's not someone who's played in the Premier League. Anyone in the chat as well? Any ideas?
I have no idea.
All right, I'll tell you. No one here's got it either. So the only person with a higher percentage rate is Robert Lewandowski.
Oh.
And I'll tell you, here's a little another tidbit for the end of this. Lewandowski's percentage rate is 91.1%. Foshizi, yeah, well done. You got it after I told you, but I'll let you have a little for it. But here's the thing. That penalty that Mark Noble gave Antonio against Man United at the end of the season to get him his goal bonus, had Noble have stepped up and taken and converted that, he would have taken the number 1 spot from Lewandowski and would be the most successful penalty conversion rate, have the highest rate in 20 years in all of world football. So,
yeah, I do remember him missing one against Spurs and then catching it late against us. That it was something like 1-0 or 1-1, and he missed one late in the match, and then Spurs scored late.
There's got to be a minimum number of kicks taken. I mean, because someone could take one and score it and have 100% rate. Yeah.
I'm sure they've got to have taken at least 10 or 20. I would think so. Okay. The score, because the scores are level, I'm going to have a bonus question here, which is a little bit cheeky. But I will say, if you get it exactly right, there's only going to be 1 point. Here we go. And Robert, the question is going to go to you. David, you're going to be the higher or lower. So, Robert, your book, An Irrational Hatred of Everything, has how many pages?
Depends what size you make it.
If he knows, he has to come up with a convincing
according to the published paperback information that I have found online, I will say that, which might be wrong because, you're the one that wrote it. Yeah.
I was counting the words, not the pages. I think it's about 430, something like that.
430 is very, very close. Thankfully, it's not spot on. So, David, do you think that Robert's book has more or less pages than 430?
Less.
Is incorrect. 432 pages is the answer. 432. So that question puts Robert into the lead by 1. I thought I'd do that for a bit of fun.
I did have a bit of an advantage on that question, but
well, but it's higher and lower. So I mean, you know, at the end of it, Dave still had like if you'd have got it spot on, I would have only given 1 point, usually 2.
Yeah, I had to consider that you were the author and you were going to be close, and whether you were a little over or a little under.
Yeah, some people were close. Foshizi, you know, I'm guessing there's a little delay here, so I apologize. Like I said, I gave you credit because I assumed you got it right. Foshizi is very good at this, but he's never been on the show, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Please come on the show, Fo. See what I did there? I rhymed. Okay, well done. That's the end of that round. The next round is a bit of a fun round. If you haven't seen it for the last couple of weeks, Dave, it's a new round. The way that this works is there's going to be 2 questions, and there are 10 possible answers. You're going to get 20 seconds each, and you will take it in turns to go. So one of you will give me an answer. I'll let you know if it's right or wrong, and then it will move straight over to the other person. Like I say, there are 10 possible answers for both questions. So there's a possibility of 5 points each per question. I'm going to give you like I say, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. David, you're going to go first. The first question is this. Carlos Tevez scored the winning goal at Old Trafford to save West Ham from relegation in the last game of the 06-07 season. But who were his 10 teammates in that starting 11 in that match? So it's the last game of the 2006-2007 season.
I'm not going to do good on this one. Okay.
Have a guess. Go.
Mascherano.
Is not on the list. I'll reset the timer. Robert.
Robert Green
is the goalkeeper. Well done. Over to you, David.
Marlon Harewood
is not on the list. Gosh, I thought he would be there, but he wasn't.
That's why I guessed it.
I mean, he should have been. It's the right era, but unfortunately not. Robert.
Anton Ferdinand
is in that team. Well done. David.
Mark Noble.
Mark Noble is there. Well done. Robert.
I know who was playing that day. Jonathan Spector.
Was not in the starting 11. David.
On the bench.
Yossi Benayoun.
Was there. Well done. Robert.
Bobby Zamora.
Was there. Well done. David.
I had someone and then I blanked on them. Paul Konchevsky, although I thought he was the next year, but let's try that one.
Probably was the next year. He's not there. Over to you, Robert.
Luis Boamorti.
Luis Boamorti was there. Well done.
He was later.
Okay, so that's it. You had your 5 goes each. And at the end of that, David, you got 2 players. Robert, you got 4 players.
Yeah, you got 4.
Let me tally those up. And let's see if anyone in the chat got some more. Danny Hardy, he got a few of these. Which we had. James Collins was there. Ginger Pele. Who else didn't we say that have been said in the chat? No. I'm just going down the list to see if we've got anyone else.
I think who the fullbacks would have been that day.
I could not figure that out for the life of me.
Well, yeah, that is a good question, especially because one of the fullbacks was
Konchevsky. It was Konchevsky.
It wasn't. It was actually It was actually Linda McCartney. George McCartney.
Oh, I love
Ringo.
that nickname for him.
Well done, Fo.
So capable, but lacking any sort of razzle dazzle.
Yeah. Well done, Fo. Rio Coker was there as well.
Rio Coker.
The only player that you've missed, ironically enough, was the captain of the team.
Hayden Mullins.
And that was, you know what? I'm actually not going to tell you who it was because that's going to give something away for the next question. So,
I think I might know who it is.
So pretend I didn't say that. Okay. And let me make sure. So the scores now. Robert, you got 10. David, you got 7. Let's go on to the next question. Okay. Where did it go? So the next question is this. And Robert, did you go first that time?
No, I went first.
David went first. Yeah.
All right, Robert, you'll go first this time. Sorry, I forget things like that. How many of the last 10 West Ham club captains can you name? Now, I'm just going to clarify.
Right. Official club captain.
Every time there's always been a club captain. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that other players didn't wear the armband. So there's going to be plenty of answers that you might think are right, but are not. So we're looking for the last 10 club captains. Robert, you're going to go first. Give me a name.
Mark Noble.
Is obviously correct. David.
Billy Bonds.
Is not one of the last 10 club captains. Robert.
I think the answer we were looking for before was Lucas Neal. Yeah?
Is correct. Lucas Neal was the club captain then. David.
I'm just going to give a chance that he's been club captain this campaign, but Declan Rice?
No, so remember, when I say club captain, Mark Noble has been club captain since 2015.
Okay, got it.
So there isn't, so it isn't there. It's not Declan Rice. Robert.
Matthew Upton.
Is correct. David.
Ooh, I'm totally blanking on this one.
Try and think before Mark Noble.
Before Mark Noble. Yeah, I'm going completely blank on this one just because I started supporting in 2007. So let's go. I don't know. It's probably Frankel.
Give me one.
Paulo Di Canio.
Is correct. Robert.
Hayden Mullins.
Hayden Mullins was not a club captain. David.
Rio Ferdinand.
Rio Ferdinand was not a club captain. Robert.
Julian Dix.
Julian Dix was a club captain.
That's a good call.
And finally, David, you got one more attempt, and there are 4 left.
4 left. I know this is wrong, but I'm going to guess Teddy Sheringham.
Yep, is not correct. So, let me have a look and see. We've got a few right answers here in the stream. Robert, can you think of any more that you might have missed?
Rio Coker.
Correct. As soon as you said Rio Ferdinand, I was thinking I was
going to say
Rio Coker. Let me see. Well done, Andrew.
Kevin Nolan was obvious. I should have remembered that.
And yeah, Kevin Nolan. A few people got that. Matthew Upton, obviously, that we had.
He's my least favorite captain of all time, Matthew Upton.
You know, I would say there was a time that no, that was Lucas Neal. I was going to say Lucas Neal refunded a bunch of.
Matthew Upton was always terrible to me.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people might think Scott Parker.
No,
he wasn't. He was vice captain, but he was never the club captain. And obviously, you know, Christian Daly, the legend. Surprisingly enough, not Steve Potts either. Yeah, of course. Legendary goalkeeper Roberto was given the he earned it. The other people that we're missing, Joe Cole was club captain for about 10 minutes. Very, very briefly, between when Paulo Di Canio left the club and before Christian Daly came in. And yeah, that's all of them. So yeah, sorry, that was a tough round for you, David. But I will say you're still absolutely in the game.
Yeah, within striking distance, we'll see.
The current score is this. Now we're going to see how your hangman game is. So
I enjoy Hangman. That's my favorite. This is my favorite round.
So here we go. As you know, these players have all played for West Ham at some point. I'm going to let you go first, David. And let's bring up the first Hangman puzzle of the night. Now, I have to say it every time because people like stressing me out. When you get the answer wrong, the letter appears up here in the corner. Before you guess a letter, look in the bastard corner of the screen and see if someone's already got it. People just do it. Thankfully, so far, I think this season, we haven't had any dum-dums. Even, thankfully, Irish Tommy, after his fourth time of playing, finally managed to not give me duplicate letters. So let's hope that you can manage it. Here we go. Give me a letter.
A.
A is there with a vengeance.
Oh.
I do these. Literally, I did these a few hours ago, and I only remember one of the ones I did, and it's not this one.
N.
N for November.
Yes.
Just checking, because it's not there. Robert, over to you.
Ooh, it should be obvious from that, shouldn't it?
You'd think so, but I don't remember it either, and I wrote it, so maybe not.
Okay, let's try W.
Well done, Danny Hardy. Someone in the chat has already called it. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, that was it. David, over to you.
D.
D is not there. Robert.
Let's try S.
S is a very good call.
Can I guess?
You sure can.
Abu.
Yeah, but please give me the first
Samasi Abu.
Yeah. Thank you. Samasi Abu is correct. Have you ever heard of him, David?
I have to admit, I have never heard of Samasi Abu. He is before my time.
I'll be honest.
Look him up.
The only reason I remember him is the only player who got booed as like a good thing. Literally,
it's like Abu.
Yeah, and that's what we used to do. As Tim said, Samasi who? Yeah, I mean, I would say legend. He didn't really do much legendary for the club, but I think it's just his name that was legendary.
Sounds like a legendary guy.
Would you say that there was anything else legendary about him?
He was a cult figure rather than a legend.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, next. Robert, give me a letter.
E.
E is not there.
I
is also not there.
Let's go for S again.
Let's see if you got the same luck there. You did not.
M.
For Mike or November?
Yes, Mike.
There is an M. The last thing I want to do is click the wrong thing. And there's an uproar and I get complaints and, they threaten to kick me off.
I'm relaxed. No complaints here. I'll go with O.
O is also there.
I'll go with R.
It's a good guess.
Still not getting it.
The chat have got it. Danny Hardy again.
I will go with U.
U is not the correct answer. Robert, I have a feeling you should get this.
I think. Do I guess a letter first, or can I go straight?
Whatever you like.
I think it's Bobby Zamora.
When the ball hits the goal, it's not Shearer or call it Zamora.
A.
Bobby. Yeah, I know. If I was thinking, if you just get that A,
yeah, I would definitely get it.
You'll have got it. All right, David, you got to get this. Yeah, Danny absolutely smashed this.
Yeah, I need to get this.
There's a
That was bad.
I will say, Danny, like the first time he came on the show, he got beat, and honestly, he was on like a crusade. He has studied West Ham religiously since, and he has stormed the leaderboard. He's top of the leaderboard. I don't know if he's going to be caught, so he's killing it. Okay, David, it's you to go first, right?
Did I go first last round? I believe I did.
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
It doesn't matter. You can go first.
Okay, cool. I'll go with A.
A. Is there?
Then I'll go with E.
E is also there.
I'll go with S.
S is also there.
Steve Lomas?
Oh, look at that. We don't see that very often in Hangman. A one-player game. There's nothing Robert could do about it. It's like how I hope Tottenham will be against West Ham at the weekend. Nothing they can do about it, but who knows? Who knows? All right, well, let's see if you can do the same thing, Robert. Here we go. I doubt it, but I don't know.
There's enough letters there, blimey.
There's a lot of letters.
Well, let's try an E then.
An E is there.
Oh.
People are still guessing Steve Lomas. Must be behind on the stream.
Let's try S.
An S is also there. We've got an alphabet up for grabs here.
Yeah, I feel that should be enough, but that's a long old name, isn't it? Let's try N for November.
N is also there.
Goodness me.
Oh, David's looking a little bit confident down there.
No, that was a confused, muddled look, not a confident look. Like trying to focus look.
Let's try an O.
Talking of O, word on foe. Oh, no, more people got it first. Tim, well done. Tim beating off people to... Oh, that's probably not the way to say it. In America, that means something else, I think. Sorry, Tim. He's not beating off people. He just managed to get the answer first.
Is there anything wrong with that?
Let's have an M for mother then.
An M for mother is there.
Oh, I know it.
Oh, the pressure is on, Robert.
It is on, isn't it? A.
Let's have a look. There is an A.
Jeez.
No pressure, but 27 people in the chat have all got it.
Yeah. I must have been off the day that this player signed, and let me think. Let's try T for Tommy.
Is not there. David.
Nielsen Fernandez.
Oh, man.
And I believe he has a brother, Gelson Fernandez, who played for Man City but never made it big.
I don't know if they were related, but I do know that is Nielsen Fernandez, who surprisingly enough actually made like 30-odd, 40-odd appearances for West Ham.
He was decent.
Yeah.
He didn't light the league on fire, but he was decent.
And there is like a weird I in there as well, but you'd have got the I in the Ilson bit, so...
Yeah.
Weird spelt name, though. That's one of the reasons why I threw it in.
I think it's one of those ones that...
I think it's a Portuguese spelling. The Portuguese is like different than Spanish, so there's these weird things you wouldn't expect.
And people think I've spelled it wrong as well. No, don't worry. I triple-checked it because I looked and thought, oh, I didn't realize there was an I there next to the D. But I did a little bit of research, and it's definitely there. So, see, this is why I have to clarify these things like Wikipedia as well, because if I get it wrong, I mean, I get into trouble from the fans. The fans? Can I call them fans? No, probably not. All right, well done. Well, at the end of that round, the scores are currently looking like this, which in the 24-hour clock is 311, my favorite band. So shout out to 311, one of my favorite bands. So there's only 4 points in it. It can definitely be done. We're going to go into the final round. It's the minute round.
I'm bad at this round, though.
Well, I believe in you. You know, you've got it in you. Robert's going to. Well, no, you're going to go first, David. As you know, you've got a minute to answer as many of the 10 questions as you can. If you're not sure, pass and move on, because
that's one of the keys.
Because here's what I'll tell you, just to give you both of you a bit of a heads up. You know, I put the same type of questions at each place, so no one gets like a true or false ahead of someone else. But I will say the 10th question is a true or false question. Okay. So it's definitely in your best interest to get through to the last question. That they're cousins Adam U. Donut. Well, I think you'll find, Thomas, that I said, well, I don't know if they're brothers actually, but I'm not sure. So thank you, Thomas Atherton. And also, it's nice.
Well, I was the one who said they were brothers, so he's insulting me.
And also, I will say it's
he's really insulting me.
It's lovely to see you on top form and back in the chat.
I'm sure he's being sarcastic about it.
Yeah, I love seeing you. I love seeing you back here, Tom. I hope you're feeling much better now. We missed you last week. Okay, here we go. Robert, we're gonna say goodbye to you for a second while David gets his questions. Prepare yourself mentally, just like I'm preparing myself mentally to scream tonight when I see Winston Reid. No, I probably am not going to scream, but I am very tempted to. I'm like, do I try and go and see him? Like, I don't know. People in the chat, what do you reckon? Should I?
I'm going to be cool and humble. That's what I say.
The problem is, if it wasn't for COVID, I'd do it.
I see what you're saying. Like, you can't take a picture, you can't be close.
But I will say that here's the thing, though. I do. I'm gonna get abuse from Tom, especially for this. But I'll have a friends and family's wristband, so I have access to places that the regular fans wouldn't have. So it means that I would have more of an opportunity to try and stalk him. I'm going to wear this shirt for the game as well. Yeah. Which I guess would maybe be in the friends and family section, but I don't care. That I'm always there, so I'm not going to get in trouble for it. But I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's get started. David, you get the choice. Do you want question set 1 or question set 2?
Question set 2, please.
Question set 2. All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Here we go. How many times has Declan Rice won Young Hammer of the Year?
2 times.
How many offsides did we have in the 16-17 season? 65, 74, or 50?
65.
Who was West Ham's top goal scorer in the 16-17 season?
16-17 season. Marko Arnautovic.
In the 19-20 season, so last season, which opponent was our heaviest defeat to?
Man City.
After leaving West Ham, where did Sam Allardyce go on to manage? Sunderland, Newcastle, or Blackburn?
Sunderland.
Clyde Best played internationally for Bermuda. True or false?
False. Bahamas.
What position?
Bermuda. Sorry, too late. It was Bermuda. Sorry.
What position did we finish the 2000-2001 season?
10th.
Who scored the last goal in the 3-0 win against Leicester?
Bowen.
And I will complete the question because we got onto it.
Yeah.
In the 98-99 season, what colour was our away kit? Purple, white, or blue?
Say the season again.
So in the 98-99 season, what colour? What was the predominant colour in our away kit?
I'm just going to guess purple.
Okay. All right. Thank you and goodbye. Here we go. Robert. So we don't know how he did. You might know. One thing I will tell you is that I would be willing to bet that you'll have a better chance when the timer isn't ticking and the questions aren't on you.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I'm beside myself.
You look it.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah, they were tough. Those they were tough questions. So I'm hoping mine are a bit easier.
Well, we'll see. We try and make them as fair as possible. And Rebecca, I will say, Rebecca, who writes these questions, I mean, man, she does an amazing job. I literally couldn't do this without her. Like, I only finished one of my final round. I finished an hour before the show started. So if it wasn't for Rebecca, this show would be a disaster. And I'd be attempting to write questions whilst doing the quiz. So thank you, Rebecca. Much love. You're amazing. Absolutely amazing. Here we go. You ready?
Okay.
What was Dean Ashton's shirt number whilst playing for West Ham?
9.
What team did Payet score his first goal for West Ham against? Tottenham, Arsenal, or Man City?
Payet.
Just guess.
Tottenham.
What Irish team did Trevor Brookham briefly make appearances for?
Cork.
How old is Vladimir Kufal?
26.
How many red cards in total did we get last season? 1, 2, or 5?
I'd say 2.
David Moyes got sacked from Sociedad in 2016. True or false?
True.
What season did Alan Pardew become West Ham's manager?
2003-04.
Who was the first ever winner of Hammer of the Year? Andy Malcolm, Ken Brown, or Bobby Moore?
Andy Malcolm.
Is correct. I shouldn't have told you that. I don't usually say it. But, well done.
Couldn't help yourself, could you?
Let me tally these up. Oh, it was close. Okay. Oh, I know what I can do. Instead of saying who wins, I can do a reveal of the scoreboard so we can see. Should we do it that way? As the scoreboard's new, we'll put it in there. So, once again, thank you guys so much for taking part. It's nice for us to do a West Ham thing that's totally fun. Doesn't involve everyone's opinions, and we can all have a nice time. So, thank you. And these are the final scores on episode 4 of Hammer's Shots. The winner with 19 points is Robert Banks. Well done.
Congratulations.
Well done, David.
19-15. So congrats. Your goal on the leaderboard. I'll show you all the current leaderboard as it stands. Looks something like, let me quickly throw this together. Share screen. Shout out to the Queen. That was, I don't know why, but okay. Can you see it? There we go. This is the current leaderboard. So I will say you are going in to third place, Robert, because you managed 4 questions correct out of the 8 that you got asked. Mm-hmm. I know you are. I hear you asking, well, what ones did I get wrong? So here we go. Here are the wrong answers. We'll start with your questions. You were so close as well. Dimitri's first goal did come against Arsenal. You went,
I don't know.
Can I just pick up on that? Because I know he put the assist in for Chiati. The other goal was Zarate. I'm pretty sure his first goal was against Leicester in the next game at home.
No, I remember him scoring at Arsenal. I could be wrong.
Let's have a little look on Dimitri's Wikipedia page. Usually it tells you the first goal. So let's find out. It says here, 6 days later, he scored his first goal for the team in a 2-1 home defeat to Leicester City. So, yeah, maybe she meant out of those 3. But I tell you what, I am going to give you an extra point for that, which puts you in second place with 21 points. Thank you for clarifying that. And I will say we try and get them all right, but every now and then something slips through the net. I'm not going to give Rebecca a hard time because, like I said, I literally couldn't do this without her. But part of it is that we are, we hold our hands up when we're wrong. We're human. We all make mistakes. Let's hope that none of the others are wrong. So Vladimir Kufal is 28 years old. David Moyes got sacked in 2015, not 2016. You said it was true. And Padre became our manager in the 05-06 season, not the 03-04 season. Over to your questions, David. Declan Rice has won Hammer of the Year 3 times, not twice. We had 74 offsides, not 65. The 16-17 season was before Arnautovic. Our top scorer was Mikel.
I knew that. I was just, guessing.
It was Mikel Antonio. After, you got the rest. You got a whole bunch of these right. Clyde Best did play internationally for Bermuda.
Oh, yeah, I didn't go back on that. I get Bermuda and Bahamas confused sometimes.
I'll let you have it because, well, it wasn't going to make a difference.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind. I'm generous.
Cool.
Yeah. Everyone. Wow. All right, Tom. You just go, Rebecca. There's me bigging her up, and there's you kicking her back down again, Thomas. Wow. Unbelievable. Apparently there was shots fired at Friday Night Lights, but I don't know where. I missed the shots. I missed the shots. But there's no shots fired. I love Friday Night Lights. That's the reason I did this show, because I love Friday Night Lights. Okay. The only other question that you didn't get right, the 98-99 season, we wore a white kit.
Oh, yeah.
2001, we finished 15th as well. And yeah, that was it. And that's the show. So thank you guys for taking part. Did you have fun?
Oh, yeah. I had a lot of fun.
Adam, can I just can I challenge the Pardew question as well?
Another challenge! I love it.
Oh shit! Here we go. Let me have a look. Let's find out. I think you're right. Early in the 2003-2004 season, West Ham asked permission to appoint him as the manager. He resigned so that he could come there. Yeah, you're right. We'll give you 22 points.
By the end of this, Robert is going to be top of the leaderboard, I would imagine.
That's the only reason I challenge, because I've got this little competitive edge. See, this little competitive streak that
I would. You know what? You are actually, you're fine to challenge him. In fact, I'm fine with that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. A couple of other people in the chat got it as well, so I would have seen it. Hey, look, that's why it's good that this is live. It's good that we've got people in the chat. But
you'll never speak to me again.
Yeah. The good news is there's no controversy. And now my phone is blowing up. My phone is blowing up, saying, I'm sorry, I haven't effed up in weeks. But
sorry, Rebecca.
It's okay. It's totally fine. Totally fine. And you know what? It doesn't do a ton. The leaderboard, it's just putting you into the lead. It's meaning that you're gonna probably give yourself some more late nights when you get into the playoffs. This is how the leaderboard is gonna look now. After this. Now, Charlie Walsh, obviously there's a second place. I'm doing this on the fly. Charlie Walsh will we'll see. We changed one of the rounds after week 1. The new round that you guys did with the 10 people. Originally, we did that round very different. I didn't like it. It didn't work. It didn't flow. And so, whereas when Charlie played it, there were only 4 points up for grabs in that round. Whereas now there's 10 points up for grabs. That's why there's an asterisk by his name. He still didn't do very well, to be honest, with only 16 points. Still a pretty shit score. And I don't see him on the chat. So anyway, how can you be mad at that pretty face, everybody? How can you? It's not possible. You can't be mad at that face. You can't. So we love you. Thank you guys for playing. Thank you all for watching. I'm sure Lee has a show after this. So I'm going to be going and shouting and screaming for Winston Reid. I might even get my breasts out for him.
Give him my regards.
I will give all of your regards to Winston if I get a chance to chat to him. Robert, thanks so much for coming on. Guys, check out Hammer Time.
Thanks for having me.
Check out his books.
Nice to make your acquaintance, Robert.
And you, Dave.
And